everyone, and welcome back to Beaglington-On-Sea. Yes, hello and welcome back to Beaglington-On-Sea. Now, it's September, the sun appears to be coming out and my tomato plants seem to be enjoying it. And the kids are back at school, which means I have some time to film in the railway room. So, here we are for another exciting episode of Beaglington-On-Sea, where I'll open up a box of eBay bargains, and I'll also attempt to assemble a small car Anglo-Saxon village. So we'll see how that goes later on. But first, we're going to run some trains. So if you are familiar with the last two Beaglington review videos I put them out recently, I reviewed the Sam's Trains Resin SR wagon, so that's going to feature in one of the trains we're running today, and the Midland and Great Northern Railway number 100 040 Railroad D-Tank is also going to be running. So I've got some trains set up here and it's time to run them. So I will start with the outside line, which is going to be run by, at the moment, the Andrew Barclay, Little Barford, and the lovely LBSCR coaches from Hornby and one from the Hatton Genesis range. So I'll leave that going there. And then on the middle line, I have my SR M7, number 357, coupled to the Sam's Trains wagon, the Triang wagon, that's also an SR livery, a Hornby Triang SR cattle van, a strange green van that I bought on eBay a couple of years ago with SR written on it, and my Graph brake van, which you may notice is missing a ducket, which fell off. I'm sure I put it up on the railway, but seems to have gone missing. I'm not sure where I put it down, but hopefully it will reappear. But for now, it's running with one ducket. So there we are. Nice little short SR goods branch train or whatever. And then on the inside line, I have the lovely M&GN locomotive pulling a rig of Dapol Mid-Suffolk Light Railway limited edition wagons. I don't run these that much on the railway because the couplings always seem to have issues and the wheels always seem to have issues. But I think I've got it working today because I actually went and I tried to make sure they were all coupled nicely together, and we shouldn't have any issues with the locomotive stopping on the points because it's a brand new locomotive. The wheels are nice and shiny and clean, so it should be nice. So as I let these trains run around in the sunshine and in the shade of the tomatoes, I'll go and get some film of them running through the city. Don't they all look marvellous in the sunshine there over in that corner? And there we have the Sam's Trains wagon and the £50 D tank passing each other there. £50 is the going rate for the D these days, the D tank it is. Yeah, we're gonna stop these now, and hopefully get the right controls to stop them in the right places. So I stopped that one, I stopped the engine barking. Click, and we'll just go for the other 7 to come around the back here. Come on. There we are. Right, so I mentioned that I had bought an eBay bargain, I think, at the start of this. So I'm going to hand over to Alex at the desk, who has a shoebox that he's going to open and have a look at. And, well, you'll find out how he gets on. Yes, thank you, Alex. So here we are at the desk with a box, a shoebox, and it appears to have a date. Looks like 8/12/22. But it's 2023, obviously. It says, open carefully. Thank you for your purchase. If you have any problems at all, don't hesitate to contact me. It also says, all the best, Dennis. So yes, I bought this off of eBay, and the postage was reasonable because it was an item actually in Ireland. So I actually paid in euros. There was no currency conversion, no customs or anything like that. So the contents of this box, I paid €6 for, plus shipping. So I'm going to open this up now. And I've looked at one thing in it just quickly to unwrap it because it's the first thing I'm going to look at, although I've seen them online obviously as well. So here we have a box full of things, and I have to say they're quite rusty. So I'll just move the camera down and you can have a look at this rusty old locomotive. So this is a presumably Hornby pannier tank that has seen better days, and I mean it's really seen better days. The chassis that is actually has a crack running along it. I don't know if you can see from just under the word there, made. It runs along past the screw, along past the cog, and all the way over there. And the wheels are, I don't know, it's just a mess. The chassis, it's all rusted. Even the plastic is covered in rust. So I'd say there is no way that is going to run at all on the railway. I'm not entirely sure how the body comes off on this model, but given that the couplings, for instance, if I can get the screws to turn, I don't think I will. We'll see. It's rust is solid there, you know. This is essentially going to be like a scrapyard loco, I think. I want to clear up some of the loose stuff on it and see. It's number 2783, made in Great Britain. I'll explain a few things. The traction tyre there, as you can see, is actually missing a section. It's got damaged handrails, missing something good for a diorama, but obviously you have to be careful with all the rust falling off of it. So this part of it is kind of a shame in terms of the poor model, but I knew it was going to be like that. You might be wondering, why did I pay €6 for that? But it's actually because of these. So, along with the pannier tank, there is some rolling stock. And if I can open the packet, we have got a four-wheel coach. Now, these four-wheelers are covered in rust as well, but I'm hoping I can get them cleaned up because they're only plastic. And as you can see, there's a lot of rust. I imagine what happened was there was some sort of flood somewhere, and these were just submerged, because I can't see how they would become so rusty. It almost reminds me of, there are people on eBay that sell weathered, like a train like this is weathered,
but this is literally weathered, like as in it's actually caked in rust. But the coach itself looks to be quite sound. So I'm hoping I can get some of that dirt off. So I'll take it down to the sink in a few minutes, or maybe the bath, and we'll see if we can wash off some. I've got a nail brush kind of thing that I'm going to try and use to get some of the worst off. It's not quite the same as Sam's Train salvage or scrap. It's more just, let's clean up some rolling stock that's got a bit rusty, because that's definitely scrap. Right, we fight with this bubble wrap. New, these coaches now cost you like 20 quid from Hornby. But here we have 2 of them for 6 quid. So that's 3 quid each and a free train. But there's also something else in the box. This is in another bubble wrap. And I'll show you that other coach in a second. I should have gotten my craft knife for this, really. It's alright, it's coming up now. So this is something, I used to have 3 of these wagons back when I built the first Beaglington-On-Sea. That was in 2015, 2014, 2015. But this is a tank wagon in the livery of Regent. And so it's also a bit dirty, but I think it'll scrub up quite nicely. So I'm going to go take those and I'm going to wash them and I'm going to see. And do you know what? If some of it doesn't come off, as long as it's not falling off on the railway, it's probably not too much of a problem. Because like at the end of the day, like it's just going to look weathered. Is it realistically weathered? Is it scale weathered? Probably not. But we'll find out. So I'll wash these up and I'll get back to Alex, and he can run them on the next set of trains, because you don't need to see me washing these, because it's going to be fairly grimy. Maybe I'll film a little bit of it. There's a bit of damage there. Easily super glue that. Yeah, so if you think about it, if this is just free, £2 each for those, or €2 each even, so it's less than £2 each. Like, I think that's really good value. I mean, if you think that, like, yeah, I mean, just thinking about that, like all of this for €6, that's cheaper than, like, that's like buying one of these from Hatton's second hand for, say, like 9 quid in sterling, whereas they're actually euros for less. So yeah, I think quite good value. Just don't be too put off by the rust, because it's not throwaway. Someone might look at this and go, that's disgusting. I better just bin that. But no, things can be rescued. So yes, I'll go down and see if I can get those cleaned up. Right, so I'm going to attempt to clean these now. So the trick is to get the body away from the chassis. Tasty. As you can see, it's very rusty inside, and we'll have to see if we can get the roof section away. It can be a bit tricky with these because the plastic of the roof insert can be a bit difficult to get to move, especially with all this rust on it. I'm kind of worried about breaking it, but let's see if we can get any sort of leverage in there now. There is a bit of give, so I don't want to damage the coach too much. I stick my nail under there and then lever it up at the other side. There we go. Yeah, that is orange. Looks like it's Tuppaware that's had lasagna or bolognese or something stored in it. Yeah, the coach though. The coach don't look too bad. So that's separated. So we'll just separate everything, and I think the weight's for the bin because it's so heavily corroded. So I can put that in the bin and see if I've got one in the spares, or I can just add some weight to the inside of the coach. So wash my hand there. Okay, so coach number 2. Jeez, man. That's rank. This is seriously bad condition, and look at all of the stuff. Oh god, what a mess. Right, and that's also for the bin. No thank you, Mr. Waite. I think you've had your day. I think you're well past it, mate. Just gonna wash my hand over here in this sink. It wasn't matter the way that I'm using it. But here we go. Little weight there. Shoot. Right. So turn the water off for a minute, which is quite difficult because my taps are actually broken at the moment. I need to get them properly fixed. But we've got the bodies, so a bit of soap on the nail brush, and a bit of a scrub. I'm trying to take off the cream paint. I don't know if the rust is going to have affected the paint or the plastic or whatever. It shouldn't do because it's only plastic. I'm going to say, if you're a fan of Sam's Trains' salvage or scrap and you decide to do it yourself, I can kind of see why he likes doing it. Obviously he was complaining about the time restraint, but it's actually kind of fun getting things clean. Carriage washing. There used to be a train wash near where my late grandmother used to live in Shoebury-Ness, and there used to be a play park. It's moved now, but the play park used to be beside the railway line, and I used to climb up the hill to a bit by the fence, which wasn't really in the park, and you could see the train wash. And then if you went up on the bridge beside, there was a gas tower there as well. If you went up on the bridge, you could see all the Network South East trains in sort of like the storage sidings or whatever outside the station. It's coming off on this one, although that orange patch at the bottom is still there. Another bit of soap on. But I think we're gonna, it's probably stained the lining on the bottom of here. I don't think we're gonna get that back. It's probably gonna be rubbed off by the brush. We'll leave that there, soapy. I'm ready to cut this down a bit. It's around 7 minutes now, and I want to spend 7 minutes watching me brush this stuff. That'll do for that one. It's all right on that side. Oh, and on that side it's a bit rusty still, but overall not bad. Now the chassis are appalling, so they're going to need a really good scrub. We'll get off what we can, and then if nothing else comes off, at least it'll just look weathered. There we are. That'll do. Now windows are probably the most important bit because we don't want them to look like Tuppaware. They need to sting. So nearly crystal clear. There's a little bit of rust there on the roof. And on the inside, I don't think I can get to that with the bristles. Mesh on the other end, not this time. But yeah, there you go. That one is perfect. And the top of it is, pretty clean as well. And do you know what? The tops of coaches would never be pristine anyways because they have all the smoke and soot on them from the locomotive. But there you go. That's good. So this one is quite bad. So we're gonna put lots of soap on that and in that, and give it a good scrub. There we go. There. Nice and clean. And ready for the railway. We just give these wheels a quick clean. There, right, that's all the wheels. So I'll clean the tank wagon and I'll dry everything up, and then I'll show you the finished result when I have everything handed back to Alex at the railway. And there they are, reassembled and back on the railway. So everything seems to look pretty good. They haven't got weights now. And I've even managed to source a couple of coupling hooks, one for that one and one for this one. They do actually have bits of remaining ones on these ends rusted in place at the moment, but there was space to fit coupling hooks from the spares box there. So now they can couple up, and I have another Great Western coach to couple up to them as well, which is in a slightly different shade. As you can see, there's still some rust in areas, but I suppose it'll just make them look old. So yeah, job done. So I'm gonna pass back to Alex now, yeah, see ya. Yes, thanks, Alex. And yes, I actually have something that I'm going to fit to them, because I think I've got some spare metal axles. So I'm going to go and attempt that. I'm just going to take out these old wheels, because I have a pair of metal axles that I can use instead. So pop those in, and that'll make at least one of these coaches a bit more free rolling. That's one. I'm supposed to be doing this on camera, but it's actually kind of fiddly. Lovely. But very light. Oops. No, shoot. Let's see now. Ready? One, two, three. That'll do. Does it roll better than this is with plastic wheels? Ready? Yeah. That's the difference. Right. Let's get these trains assembled. Yes, right. All that dithering about done. The coaches are ready and they're assembled into a train. So I put them together with the other four-wheeler, and I've got a pannier tank as well, which is 2788, I think, and it's going to start off. I really need to get a crew fitted to it though. Perhaps I'll paint up and use the one from the D tank, because that doesn't have a foot plate, so I can't use it. But this pannier tank has quite an open cap, so you know, it would make that look a lot better if I could get those painted up and put into there. As you can see, no trouble from these coaches. I'll have to see if I can get some weights to put inside them, because they are very lightweight. Yeah, there they are. An absolute bargain, really, when you consider. I mean, I went on Hatton's last night actually, and they had two unboxed four-wheelers like that, maybe a little bit less rusty, but they were £11 and £9, I think. So that's something like £20, whereas those cost roughly €2 each when you break down the package and stuff. So yeah, pretty good value. So on the inside line, I have the William Mansfield & Co. number 3, pulling a train that I have put together for my daughter Charlotte, because we were looking through my stock drawers of what to assemble the train with, and she picked out the log wagon and the raspberry syrup tanker, and I picked out the MCB brake pan, and we got decided on William Mansfield. So a nice colourful train. As you can see, no trouble from the new tank wagon either. Again, another bargain. I haven't glued the strap down yet, it's broken, but I will get to it at some point. But you know, me with some point is almost never.
And then on the outside line, Charlotte also asked me if I could run Edward the Blue Engine and get him out of the shed/drawer, because I don't run him that much because he usually causes incidents. So it's a little bit risky, and he's actually running with the Triumph coach from the old Smoky set and the Clockwork Starter set I think it was in as well. Which is like the special coach from Thomas the Tank Engine, I kind of call it. And then Edward has stopped, but he's also pulling the Triang exploding Warhead Wagon and the Airfix exploding Wild West coach, because, well, if you're going to have one thing that is going to cause issues, you might as well have three. And now we have to get Edward going again. There we go. Right, so I'll get these going, and then once again we can get some footage of the new roller stock rolling around the railway. Oh, oops.
Edward, that's supposed to be the end of your train. Yeah. Edward just doesn't care today. He's doing it his own way. Oops. Look out! It's alright. I don't think there's going to be an accident. There we go. Come to a safe halt.
Edward! What is wrong with you? Don't crack. Edward. Oh. Anyways, I suppose we'll stop the engines there. The Mansfield there, and the Great Western one there. And I suppose I'll go and assemble an Anglo-Saxon village. Edward?
So here we are, back at the desk, and this time round, I've got the West Stow, that's the Anglo-Saxon village visitor centre place I went to beyond Beaglington. I went there earlier in the year, in that season, so check that out if you want to. But here is the West Stow Build Your Own Anglo-Saxon Village 2 houses. So it says, cut around the thick brown lines, fold along the lines marked by the arrows, and using sticky tape or glue, join the walls together and the roof to the house, stick the tabs down where appropriate. Cut and fold doors and windows. Cut out each figure, fold the 2 views in half, fold the card, 1 tab to the back and 1 to the front to make a stand. Stick the views of each figure together. Oh, to make a stand. Stick the views. Okay, so evidently I can't read very well. So what we have in here is 2 sheets, presumably. And even get a neat little postcard, which is quite cool. West Stow Anglo-Saxon Village, the farmer's house. There you go. There's the farmer's house. And we have 2 houses. So there's the hall and there's houses. So there's 3 buildings. That's quite cool. So I'm going to start with the hall, I suppose. This is cut the thick brown lines, but there aren't any brown lines actually. They're all black. So, and these probably aren't going to sit perfectly on the railway, but I'm hoping that they'll just be added to the village green every now and again, just to sort of show off some different scenery. I have to remember that that's the point where that is. Right, well, tell you what, I'll get this cut out and then we can start gluing. So there we are, we have these pieces cut out, and somewhere I also have the Anglo-Saxon person cut out. So just get the picture there of what we're trying to build. And I'm supposed to cut, yes, we're supposed to cut the doors. Yes, I have to cut the doors. I think it goes now. Yes, I'm cutting the doors now. Did you have a nice sleep, Smutpuss? He's just over there on the window. Oop, sorry, I've actually got my camera thing taped to the top of the tripod because it's broken again. Different one. It's because they're cheap. Right, so that's one door. Should be able to open that now. Open the door. There we go. And then that should just sort of sit like it's sort of slightly open there. And then we can do the same for this big door here. Cut up there. 1, 2, like that. All there. And there. I don't know if that extra beam there is supposed to be part of the door, but it isn't now. There you go. Fold that and then close that back again. And then we have to fold along this line here. And we have our front gable, and then we can fold that. Luckily, there's nothing else to. Oh, he's heading for my tomatoes. Don't knock over my flowers, and don't eat them. Anyways, so then we fold the tabs. Presumably, you've got to have the roof onto there. And then that one. It's very squeaky paper, this. Is there another tab there? Yeah. Right, okay. So that's our walls. So presumably the ends just sort of go there and there, and we have a little house. The roof, I'm not really sure. This bit folds there, it's a tab, and this bit folds, and that's a tab, like that, and then that goes down like that. What a... Okay, that fold these bits as well. So 1, 2. Sorry, you can't see. I got it closer to me, you see, to fold it. There. Now I will build the other houses off camera because you don't need to see me failing at this twice. So they are there, and now we can get our glue stick. So we've got some strange blue Brit stick, bit of glue there, and a bit of glue on there, like that. And we tuck that down and fold that under there. Or not. We were to fold the roof in half first. That might help. There we go. Now, then we have a roof that won't stay together. Stick. Come on, stick together. That's it. Stick. I don't know why it's not sticking. I don't know if it's because it's too slippery, this paper, but that would be a bit of a design flaw, wouldn't it? Right. We can stick these bits together though. So that one goes there. That's how it actually comes up a bit because it's got attached to the roof. We attach that there. Like that. Turn that around. Bit of glue on there. Attach that to there. Let that tab up as well. So we're getting the basic walls in place. And then somehow have to attach the roof to these tabs without knocking down the rest of the building. So we're going to do it by knocking down the rest of the building, probably. Glue on that tab. Glue on that tab. And glue on that tab. So, that goes on top like that somehow. Yes. There, like that. That glue is there. And then turn it over and attach the roof to the inside. And we should have our little Anglo-Saxon hall when it's not falling apart. Now, just drop that down a little. And I don't think that that's come out too badly. That's the picture. It looks like the picture, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, that's one done. Now, 2 more. And there we have our sort of finished Anglo-Saxon village. There you are. Imagine if you had the right kind of pens, you could probably colour them in, but the paper's very glossy. So yeah, that's done. I can go put them on the railway. So here we have a little experimental archaeology style thing in 1/76 scale. I suppose they've put them up to show what it must have been like in Anglo-Saxon Beaglington-On-Sea. There were probably some sort of fishing group, I suppose, given their proximity to the coast. It was probably nice in the summer holidays, you know. So yeah, there's the little village. Right, Smutpuss, hanging out with the tomatoes. Are you a tomato? You photosynthesizing? Oh, sorry. Yes, so we've got the Anglo-Saxon village there, and Smutpuss has just been sunbathing while I've been busy making the
village. Hopefully I'm going to be able to run the trains for you, but while I was assembling the village, the electricity pole outside let out a rather loud sort of bang and a fizz, and all the power went out for a few seconds and then came back. I don't know if that's anything to do with this heat warning that we've got today. I don't think it's that hot outside. There's also a humidity warning as well. But yeah, it's happened before, but we lost all power. That was during the lockdown. But yeah, it's slightly worrying because I don't want it to be some sort of power surge, because Merton's on the line. It took me forever to get a new motor and sort that out, so I don't want that to get ruined. So I do have some trains set up here, so Smutpuss might have to move. So the first thing I'm going to run for the last run of trains today is my trying transcontinental train minus the normal coach, because it's too heavy, because my friend Larry, very kindly for my birthday, ordered me from Hatton's a double-ended trying transcontinental diesel, so I'll be able to run that. And then on the outside line I have a Lima Great Western Prairie with some trying terrestrial coaches, and I have Merton on the Vancy, the Eve model converter wagon that I've got between that and HO, and two HO Blue Train coaches. But I think we'll have to drive the trying one first. See if we can get it into the station. There we go. There's a cat on the line there, and we'll have to go backwards and get everything into the station, because unfortunately there's a cat in the way. Oh dear. Like tripod and everything. You seem to have gone all sideways. Oh, sorry. What on earth? Oh, that's a bit weird. So the electricity pylon's blowing up, and now my tripod is just like melting. Hello.
How the... This is not good. Duct tape. Let me get this to stay upright. There we go.
Well, wouldn't be Beaglington-On-Sea without a bit of incident, I suppose. Excuse me. Excuse me. Squishy. I'd like to run some trains. Come on, come on. Up. Oh, mind the hill, mind the hill. Whoosh. It's going to be a bit of a fluffy time over there now, isn't it? Right. There's the prairie going. And there's Merton going. And hopefully, we'll try it, but the prairie seems to just decide it wants to hop off the line. Well, there we go. So, me and Mr. Roots are going to watch these trains go around and get some footage for you, and hope that the power doesn't go off. So yeah, enjoy, and I'll get that going. Yeah. It's a nice sunny day for you, isn't it?
Excuse me, wake up. Thank you for moving, Smutpuss. Have you missed being on camera? Did you miss being on camera? You didn't show up for the last 2 Beaglington reviews, you were fast asleep.
Well, that's all we've got time for on this episode of Beaglington-On-Sea. So we'll just stop the prayer in the station next to the trying transcontinental diesel. Everyone's going to have to walk up the train to the baggage car to get off, or perhaps the visitor zone, because that's where the new ones decided to stop. And here comes Merton with the boat train. So we're just going to stop that in the station as well. So, yes, that's it for this episode of Beaglington-On-Sea. Thank you to everyone who tuned into Beyond Beaglington over the summer and who has watched the latest editions of the Beaglington Review. And thank you for tuning in once again to Beaglington-On-Sea. We've restored some carriages, we've built a small village, Smutpuss has been a tomato. So yes, I hope you've had a nice time here at Beaglington-On-Sea. And I will see you again hopefully for another episode quite soon. So from me and Alex at the desk, and dear old Smutpuss on the window, we'd just like to say thank you for watching. Don't forget you can like, share, subscribe, comment, tell your friends, and just, play trains at home if you've got some. And have a nice time, and we'll see you again for the next one. So you've been a wonderful audience, I've been waffling, and we'll see you next time. So, ta-ra! Oh, and before the power goes out, there's also the subscribe bubble on the playlist thing. Until next time, bye.